Being joined now by offensive coordinator Garrett Riley. Coach, unless you have any opening statements, we can go straight to questions.
We're going to fire away like normal.
Garrett, running back, obviously has separated himself. The guys behind him, where do you feel like that group is at right now?
I think it's a good group that they're going to have plenty of opportunity. That's the fun challenge for them as a position group, is those guys are going to play and look to have a good rotation and ask them what they can handle as coaches. But that room certainly has a great opportunity and challenge ahead. But I'm excited for them. I really am. I think they'll accept the challenge, and it's going to be fun to see not only that group, but everybody just be under the lights and truly under the fire a little bit on Saturday night.
Gideon specifically, how has he grown from preseason camp to now?
It's what you would expect. I mean, the guy's been here for several months now, and so just the accumulation of mentally probably what we're asking him to do, right? Just that transition from high school to college football and specifically what that position requires and everything it entails. You know, he's just gotten better and better and better. So, you know, I've said this all along, he's a kid that just really doesn't get phased. You know, not that he's perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he's the type of person that can handle, you know, moments and what you ask him to do. So got a lot of confidence in him.
In what ways is David Eziomome different from last year?
Just more mature, you know. I mean, really just from a sense of knowing what to do and just doing it more consistently, you know. So it was kind of the same thing for him, transitioning and being a young player, and just, you know, had to really grow in that part of his game. And I feel like he's definitely taken a huge step, you know, in this last, whatever it's been since spring football, you know, I mean, 5-6 months, you know, as a whole, that whole timeline, I think he's improved a lot, and you know, he certainly brings, you know, some violence to that position group. So that's what you love about Easy, is he's going to play full speed, and he's going to have bad intentions. I mean, that's just kind of the style he is. So, you know, definitely excited to see more of him.
Pretty unique situation with Adam at running back. You know, a guy who's just a natural receiver. How much of a, I guess, luxury? How much fun is that for you, knowing that now you've got all these options in the passing game with your starting running back?
It makes you versatile, right? I mean, he brings versatility, and you know, it could be somebody that you look for mismatches and things of that nature that he's just hopefully going to present. But you know, it's nice to have a guy like that back there that understands space and has awareness, and just some of the things that, you know, a receiver is going to be a little bit more accustomed to, you know, to that. So yeah, certainly excited about Adam.
One thing Adam mentioned was trying to improve in pass protection at being a running back. I guess how have you kind of seen him improving that department since he made the transition?
It's been a big emphasis. I mean, anytime you make a transition from wide receiver to running back, that's obviously going to be one of the first things you really gotta emphasize and work on. You know, from the mental part of it, and then to the actual execution of a one-on-one block. And so, you know, it's been a big thing, not just for him, but that whole room, right? You know, younger room altogether, that's going to be a big key, you know, for our season, and certainly in this first game.
What have you seen out of Tristan from spring ball through fall camp?
Tristan Smith?
Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, now he's been here for a while. You know, the offense, what we ask him to do, the fundamental technique that we teach, all the technical parts of the game, like all that's slowing down, is becoming more and more muscle memory to him. You know what I mean? I know he made some plays for us, had a fun spring game and all that stuff, but like, he had to really grow from spring football with those parts of his game, and so that's certainly been a big emphasis for him and for us as coaches to get him to that point. But we've seen a lot of progress with Tristan.
I asked Coach Sweeney the same question. I guess I'll ask you as well. Harold Perkins, number 7 on defense, missed most of last season, but he's a special player, very versatile. Coach said that you have to know where he is at all times, and how they use them is going to be kind of a mystery.
Yeah, I mean, game ones are always a little bit of a mystery, right? I mean, they've got new players on defense in some spots, and game ones are a little bit of a mystery altogether anyways. But yeah, I mean, he's certainly one you're going to identify where he is. And, you know, I got a ton of respect for the way he plays the game. He's violent. He kind of just wreaks havoc all the time. That's kind of what he is. But, you know, he's a very versatile player. You know, like I said, I just got a ton of respect for the way that he plays the game. So yeah, you're gonna need to know where he is for sure.
Short yardage was a big guess, thing that y'all needed to have identified as needing improvement this year? What were some of the more critical shortfalls last year, I guess, as you move toward improving that this year?
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna like my answer, but it all boils down to just really the little things like IDs, winning a block, defeating a block. You know, it usually ends up being kind of the bulk of where your issues come up when you watch your cut-ups at the end of the year. When it all boils down to it, for the most part, some of your faults or some of your weaknesses usually ends up being the small things. And so that's just been such a big emphasis for us overall, not just short yardage. You know, for our team and certainly on offense, is we got to be great at the details. And as coach speak as that is, it's the absolute truth, and that has to show up certainly in game ones. It's a mystery, kind of what both teams are a little bit, right? And so it's always going to come back to those fundamental things for us, and so that's the key for us as an offense and certainly as a team. It just is.
It sounds like Easy E, Gideon, Keith are all kind of right there behind Adam at running back. How do you go about deciding throughout the course of a game and going into a game how to spread the reps around? I mean, is it just, you know, who has a hot hand, or does it depend on the personnel you're facing?
Yeah, I mean, it's depends on what you kind of have in from a game plan. Like, you always want to put those guys in position to do what they do well. Like, that's kind of the first thing. And then from there, you've got to kind of set a rotation on how can you efficiently, and what's best for our team, what's best for that into that position group, you know, to get people involved, to maximize reps, not ask them to do too much. So it's just a lot of things that go into it, especially with that position group, because, you know, they're asked to do quite a bit. You know, so I think it always kind of starts with really what do you have installed for that game plan is really kind of where it starts, and then it goes from there. But yeah, certainly if somebody has a hot hand, you want to keep them high. So that's always going to be a factor.
You mentioned with game one, there's so many unknowns. Does having someone like Cade who's been in the system for so long make it a little bit like less daunting, or does it change that unknown factor?
It helps. It helps.
In what ways?
I mean, you got a guy that's just been through it, you know, and we've got a lot of people on our side of the ball that have played together and have continuity and chemistry from that standpoint. They play a lot of snaps together. They've been through ups and downs together, you know, and so I just think going through those experiences, I mean, we're all gonna draw from our own experiences, and I think we got a group that can certainly do that, you know, and applying that into a game one like we're about to have.
Garrett, on Cade specifically, though, a year ago there were a lot of people that weren't sure he was even the right quarterback to lead Clemson. Fast forward a year, people are talking about him as the potential #1 overall pick. What does the next level for Cade look like this year, you think?
I mean, there's certainly a ton of room. I've said this all along. I've said it to his face. I mean, he knows this. There's another level for him, and that's what he's chasing, and it's what we're all chasing. So, I just think different parts of his game, whether it's just some routine, automatic plays, is really probably the main charge that I've given him. You know, coming away from last season, is he's the type of player that, you know, when routine plays are there, routine things are there, we got to hit those every time. Like, he's that caliber of a player, and so that's been the big charge. But, you know, I mean, this game's going to continue to slow down for him, I think, as this season goes on, and he's heading into his senior year, so expect a lot of big things from him for sure.
What's your comfort level with him as far as in the red zone, you see something to make a change in the line?
A lot of confidence.
Does that just come because of just the 3-year relationship now you have with him?
Yeah, with him and our offense as a whole. You know, I mean, those guys know me, and they know kind of our system and what we're about, how we want to attack, maybe how we want to check or get out of a bad play or whatever. Like, just not just him, but offensive line and the staff, like everybody just kind of really being in sync. That's such a huge key that not a lot of people really realize. Like, there's continuity from the staff standpoint too.
Outside of Cade as a leader, who else on offense is stepping up this season?
I think we got a bunch. I really do. I think Antonio Williams has grown into a great leader. Just have a ton of respect for him and the way that he goes about his business. I mean, he's a pro. He's a professional. I think we got several guys up front that lead in their own way. I mean, Tristan Lee, Blake Miller, Ryan Linthicum, you know, started for us and played more snaps than anybody on our team last year, and he's a guy that a lot of people on our team kind of gravitate towards. So Adam Randall certainly is a leader in every sense of the word. You know, so I feel like we got a collection of people that can kind of spread the wealth a little bit.
Also,
What can you say about,
go ahead.
what can you say about Tyler Brown battling back from injury and what you're hopeful to see about him?
Yeah, I just can't wait to see him play. I mean, the guy's been practicing really, really well. Spring football was healthy, was fast, and was a consistent practice player. And then the same thing, following it up here in fall camp. So certainly glad he's back. He's a heck of a player, and you know, one I can't wait to see play the season again and being healthy.
All summer, Dabo Sweety's praised Vizina and his growth, particularly in his playmaking, not just necessarily being made the byproduct of maybe an open throw. Just what have you kind of seen from him as he's grown this through spring and through fall?
Yeah, I've definitely seen growth with him, and a lot of it was kind of the consistency. Was kind of the first check the box, like, hey, this is where we have to grow. Like, this is the first priority for him. It's just becoming more consistent. And then with that, because that improved, then you saw just some more playmaking ability, you know, as he got reps in fall camp and scrimmages and things of that nature where he's put in real situations. You know, I was able to really see some true playmaking ability from him. So that was certainly great to see. So definitely a step in the right direction for CV, no question about it.
Simplifying it with Blake Baker's defense, they like to generate that pressure with the front four. They have good corners this year. What have you seen on film? Is it a little hard to prepare because they've got so many new pieces, or is it not? It's the same group. We just have to prepare for that scheme.
I mean, you're going to prepare for their scheme. Now we know that there's different people and there'll be people in different spots than what we're watching on film, but that's always the fun mystery of game ones. And you know, they're going to do some things a little differently, I'm sure, schematically than they did a year ago, and that's just kind of part of game ones. You know, so again, it kind of really just comes back to us being prepared, obviously, but us understanding and trusting our process, trusting our rules, and really being great at the little things and the details. It's just going to come back to that for us, really, no matter what they do. Like, that's got to be what we focus on.
Having Hunter Helms as a player coach this year, what went into that decision? How does that kind of help y'all as a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, he's been great. You know, kind of the Paul Tyson role this year, but Hunter's been awesome. I mean, he knows our system, he knows me, he knows what we're about and how we work, and you know, our how we attack, and just philosophy stuff. So he's been great, and obviously a great veteran guy to kind of have there as an emergency if you need him.
Was there a point with Adam Randall, whether it was during bowl practice or the spring or even August camp, where you went, holy cow, this might actually work. Like, this dude can actually do this?
Well, when he popped the big run in Texas, you know, I mean, that was kind of the first one. I was like, okay, that looked pretty good. You know, but then being a coach and knowing what's going to all go into that transition, you know, there's a lot of things that you just got to go through and you got to see, right? So I think Adam did a great job of attacking the things that he knew was going to require a lot of work by him, just making that sort of transition. So I just think his whole approach was really, really good. And then I just think his ability to do those things, to actually execute some of the running back requirements, if you will, you know, that showed up a lot quicker, you know, to me than maybe what I even would have thought. You know, I was really proud of him that way. So again, just really excited for him.
Wide receivers block out on the perimeter. A little different when you're in pass pro, but did that experience help him learn, you know, a little how to work in pass pro?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just, man, you're out there at receiver, you're playing ball, you're playing in space, you have to block people one-on-one, you can't cut them anymore out at receiver like you could in the old days. So like, you have to be able to do that. So I mean, a lot of those things carry over. You just have to learn how to do some of these things in a phone booth and with the blitzing Mike linebacker coming at you, right? So I mean, it's different, but again, I think his whole approach and the physical nature that he brings to the position anyway is going to be a good deal for us.
Take one more for Coach Riley if anybody has one.
How about Gideon? Is that part of his game that's got to get better? you know, for him to be trusted, you know, in game situations.
Yeah, I mean,
Playmaker.
that's always got to improve. You know, not that he's deficient at that. Like, I trust him to go do it right now. But asking a younger freshman, like, that's always going to be probably the part of their game that's going to have to keep improving as they go.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
All right.
Coach.
Appreciate
Thanks.
your time.